Hey, what's going on, you guys? I want to give you an update. We are just past week 4 in web-oriented services, IT-260. So I wanted to give you some updates and to give you some insight into what's been going on with the class. So first and foremost, the instructor, Professor Jennifer Lee, has been great. The course itself, we will go through like we always do, take a look at the grades, so you kind of understand if for some reason this is the first time you've reached one of my videos. My name is Giovanni. I am a junior at Southern New Hampshire University. I am studying information technology with a focus in cybersecurity. So this is one of the required classes, and if you're anywhere in the same mindset or you're looking at information technology, this will be a class that you'll end up taking. But with this class, one of the things that I think that you should focus on in your first 4 weeks, keep in mind the classes at Southern New Hampshire University online are 8 weeks long. So every 8 weeks, you're going to change classes. So this may be somewhere inside of your second year that you end up having this course. Depends on how many credits you have transferred in. So let's talk about the first week in itself. So first week, not a lot going on. You have your discussion post, which goes over like virtual assistants and that idea. In my mindset, one of the things that I took from this was just like right now, you guys can't physically see me, but I am wearing a pair of glasses they're called Stories. They're made by Meta and in a collaboration with another company. And so those glasses allow me to take videos of things throughout my day. So I am able to record things if people are talking or issues that are happening and I need to remember those things. That's what my glasses do. And so what this does inside of these glasses, there is an assistant that is built into the assistant. And you can say that assistant's name and go through and, the assistant can set up recording or tell you what the weather is. So that is a part that I think in this case is essential. And when you're doing your discussion is giving real life examples. That's something that initially I was trying to figure out how I was going to do. And I just thought about, well, I wear glasses and, I think that those glasses, these are prescription glasses and they have worked very well for me. Outside of that, you have a quiz. The quiz is only 5 questions. So it's not really that much that you're going to need to do. It's just regular 5 questions, goes through the information that you're going to talk about. Now, let's get into week 2 because that's when things in my mind start to develop. And I think at this point, you need to start getting serious. So if you have been going through the course and kind of like on autopilot, this is one of those times I would come off of autopilot. I'll tell you why. One of them is these resources that you're going to see here and the resources and protocols that they go through. This required reading, I would do this. If you have not done it, I would make sure that you go through and you read it. In particular, the thing that I found most useful was this. It was useful because the books and kind of understanding, if you do not have a background in web services and how things connect, this was very useful for me. And so I spent a lot of time reading it. I think that you should spend some time reading it too. Do not skip the resources in this particular chapter. Why that's important is because the quiz will focus a lot on these resources, but this discussion post as well comes from these resources. So sometimes at Southern New Hampshire University, there will be things where they don't really connect. So you're like, okay, I don't understand why I'm doing this. I just implore you to focus in by Wednesday in my week, and this is your second week. Wednesday, I would focus on this discussion post, get through these readings sometime between Sunday and Wednesday. Just get through the introduction and the resources part. Save this discussion for Wednesday because they're due on Thursday. Try to get into a habit of always doing your discussion post on Wednesday, posting them on Wednesday. That way, Thursday, when they're actually due, you can go in and respond to your other students, your other peers in the class. This submit activity through Hello World, that is going to be a document that you are going to, I will show you guys what this really looks like and to kind of give you some insight into it. What it's going to look like is really you going through doing Hello World in its Codio software that they're using in the class. Is kind of a mock software that you as a coder, you as a programmer would use. And it kind of simulates that. And so this is what you're going to do. You're just going to go through and you're going to take the screenshots and you're going to put the screenshots in there, and it walks you through on this side of things. So it walks you through on the left what it needs you to type, and then on the right hand side you put that information in. That is fairly easy for you to do. You won't have a huge ordeal there, but this does take time. This will be something I'd focus in. Again, your quiz is like 5 questions, not a big issue. Week 3. This class does not take a lot of work. It takes a lot of reading. So if you are a working adult like me, I work 40 hours a week. I have things that I do outside of Southern New Hampshire University online, which is primarily why a lot of online students and a lot of the people that follow me, a lot of you guys are working adults. So that's why I try to break this down to give you insights into what to do per date of the week. It'll just help you to get those things done. Week 3, you have 2 resources that you need to go through. Again, your quiz, I would wait and do your quiz on Sunday because you have this web services project. Now, this web services project, I will show you what that looks like too. This document for this web services project is, you're going to need this. So when I tell you, you're going to need to go through this. Now, this is a 3 to 5 page document. And you have to go through and put all of this, including this code. I suggest that if you're struggling with this, you make sure that you go to the instructor and say, hey, you know what? Here's what I was thinking. So if you're trying to get this done on Sunday, you won't have that opportunity. What I would do is get the introduction all the way to all of these resources, get all of those done by Tuesday. Just start on Sunday, get them done by Tuesday, break them down, okay? Once you do that, put your quiz on Sunday and focus your attention on getting this web services document out the way. Because as you see, you don't have a discussion post. So since you don't have a discussion post, focus your time in on Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even Friday to get this portion done. Sunday, go ahead and do your quiz. Because if you focused in on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday being the time that you make sure that, hey, look, I've done everything that I need to do. Once you get done with that, you should be good to go. All right. Remember when I told you that the first project, which was that project, it's going to come back to you. So this project that we just looked at, this one right here, project 1 is going to come back. And where that's going to come back is in module 4, because one of the portions that you're going to need to do, and as you can see, don't get overwhelmed. Okay, let me break it down for you. Module 4, get these done and focused again Sunday through Tuesday, because you're going to need some extra days this particular week. In our course, you would normally have to go into the software and do this, but we didn't have to do it because for Codio software, they were running into Problio. So the teacher told us not to do it. What you're going to have to do is you have to go in, okay, and you're going to have to answer these questions. So all you're doing is answering these questions here. Easy peasy. Now, once you get those answered, then go back. It would have you create a web service, but like I said, we didn't have to. Now, this diagram right here, I have what I think was a really good solution for doing it. Draw.io actually is really good. So if you're creating, because you got to do these charts, and here's the part I think you need to focus in on, but this is the part that will get left out if you do not take all of your things and put them into a system and say, this is what I need to answer. So what I did in my paper is I took this and it says your diagram should include. I went through and made sure all of these options were there, and then I did the description as part of the paper. So you're going to have a whole entire breakdown of your applications. Now remember, that's what that project 1 was about. And you need to have your diagram. So I did this in Visio and it didn't come out the way I wanted it to look. And so I did it in this software called Eraser. If you want, you can reach out to me in the comment section. I can get you the link that I used for that. Eraser, you put in what you want it to write out. And then what it will do is it will go through and make the chart for you. So that's what I wanted to do because I'm not good at the chart part. And maybe you aren't either. But that is what I know I needed to turn that in as part of this course. Now, your quiz, get that done on Sunday, and you get prepared for week 5, which is where we are right now. So I know that that was a long video, and I know that that's a lot of content. But what I think you could do if you were to look at this week 1 through 4, so far, this has not been unmanageable. So if you are doing 40 hours a week, you are doing the work that you need to do. Focus in on getting your resources focused in. Again, Monday, I usually start on Sunday. So I open everything on Sunday and go Sunday to Wednesday. That's when I have resources, take a look at what they're asking me to do. I try to knock those out Wednesday through Friday. Any quizzes get done on Sunday, period. I don't even touch the quiz. Because Sunday I do quizzes and I do all of my responses to my peers. That's it. So if you focus in on that, you will be able to get through this part. And if I can hold down an A in this class, you can too. So if you have any questions or anything about this course, or maybe in some way you're struggling through it, go ahead in the comment section, write a question. You know, I do run a page specifically dedicated to being an SNHU online student because I didn't see that when I was starting my journey. So I created a community of people. We are 500 strong right now of people going out specifically and going through these classes. So leave your comments inside of there. You know, there are no stupid questions. There's nothing that I'm going to shoot you down. If I can find you an answer, or if I can't, someone in the community can. So I'm going to let you guys go. I appreciate your time. And if for some reason, you know, this has vibed with you, just leave a like. That's all I ask. It is great. This is a free platform. So if you don't completely understand, but consider subscribing. I do put out content now, and I try to do it at the midway point through a class so that it is much easier for people to digest. And then I just break it down inside of the video. So all you have to do is do it week by week. So in this class, just to recap, what I have done so far, or in this particular video, what I have done is broke down weeks 1 through 4 of IT-250 web-oriented services. So if you need a specific ideas, then go through the system or go through the video. It will have the breakdown of each week so that all you have to do is focus on the week that you are in. So thank you again for your time, and I'll see you guys in the next class. Take care.